I am hoping at some point I'm audible. That's all I want from life. Is someone to hear me. Hi!
I am I'm sorry for the very sad singing. I
just
just
needed
needed
to
to
fill
fill
the,
the,
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
oh,
I
I
have
have
an
an
echo.
echo.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I
was
was hoping.
It's just from me. Can you hear me okay now? Thank hell. Yay. Okay, so apparently the microphone I thought was broken has been magically fixed via the power of optimism, probably. Because I sure as hell did nothing. And yes, this is me biding time because I am preparing my very, very many fine liners. Which, I mean, if I have them, why not use them all? No, not this one. Not this one. No, this is not a fine liner. Yeah, I was about to stick my grubby little hands and take out the marker, which is absolutely not what I wanted, mostly. Gold. No, but that's useful. Yeah, I have my probable color scheme going on. Close enough. The wider ones are probably not gonna get used, but I don't know where the art will take me. Ah, so I was thinking about making a maze today. Inspired by one of the shows I really love, which is Alba Salix. It's a show about the fantasy hospital and the really lovely lady with that name who runs it. Better not yellow because that would probably look like trash on camera. Um, yeah, and I did an art a maze for them before, but it ended up very how do I put it? I used the thank you night. Oh, do I? Am I getting an echo again? Or is it just because I can hear myself? No, I think it's just because I can hear myself, which is a little bit annoying. But it's the only way I know to make a sound. Okay. It's the only way I know how to make myself audible on this hell little application, which is Streamlabs. This is not the purple I am looking for. And yes, I promise there is a method in my madness. The method is that I am looking through my extensive collection of fine liners for brown, which refuses to show its head. But at least I found a few very pretty purples, which are very useful because I um I was thinking a peony seed maize aside that I would make a second go at maize for them because yeah, so apparently using the Disney logo as an inspiration um has not translated well in maize form. Yeah, so a second attempt gravely needed. Just really needed. Uh, so I'm gonna take a lot of inspiration from season 2, just because, to make it a bit more differently. So for the last one, season 1 deals a lot more with, just regular, Kurt's adventure, subversions? Ah, damn it, that word worked. And, season 2 is more like a big mood for anybody having to deal with an inspection. And yeah, it's really adorable. They're just a very sick of life doctor and her, they're kind of, let's call them young and not dumb, um assistants who really work on trying to save lives and grow medicinal plants. It's so cute. I feel like I'm not doing it nearly enough justice to for what a lovely show it is. Um yeah. Uh well, okay, I can actually start doing it. Why am I stalling for time? Yeah, I wonder. It's mostly because I know what I want to represent and not exactly how it will look like. Usually when I make a maze, I start by thinking about what I want to represent through it, like what the main um, scenes or images or feelings or ideas are. And then I plotted it out with the pencil. Or, I mean, sometimes if I'm feeling barbaric, I just go dive right in it. Um, and then I draw it out. But yeah, this time I know what I don't know how it will look like. I just know what I want to represent with it, which is basically I want a few things that were pretty important to the story that really stuck with me. Um which was wind, herbs, and I mean togetherness, which isn't really a thing that works a lot at being, you know, having a physical form. I mean, there is a lot of symbols for it, but it's not exactly the point. Um, it's more like basically, uh, there's a lot of groups of 2 characters that influenced the story throughout. And I kind of want this represented in a way in which like anyone can read through it. I know that one couple, for example, is important to the creators, and I really want to showcase them as well. But also, like, other groups of two characters that I see as related, but aren't like necessarily romantically involved or like a couple in the romantic sense of the word. So there's also that theme that I kind of want to show, like maybe the herbs, the plant theme can go in the center because it's in many ways central to the story, because like the House of Healing being a fantasy house isn't exactly relying on magical healing. And yeah, maybe less, maybe something like in the central column, depending on how my fingers will take me, not gonna lie, which would be around this area here. And oh, my pencil actually shows on camera. This is the first. Seriously, the many other times I tried to catch on camera the sketching process, I it ended up being basically invisible without like me having to really press down. I cannot believe that I have the lighting right. It's because of the ring light of my camera actually. The the camera whose microphone is suddenly and mysteriously working again, which I don't know why, but I'm not complaining. On Sunday, I was on my headphone microphone, and I'm really happy to have this other one again because, yes, it is. Let me show you an image. I think, I think this one. Nope, nope. This one. Yeah, it's this one. And I I really love that image. Usually when I try to do something digitally that tries to imitate my physical art, it just doesn't work. It very much screams me, yes. I mean, I do have this extremely depressing one, which is this one. Um, which I really love, but it's just surprisingly dark for like my general brand. Why? No, no, I'm not starting coloring it yet. Hands off, hands off. I was I was getting ready to just dive right into it, which isn't a good idea given that I'm trying to immortalize a lot of ideas in a pretty small sheet of paper. I mean, it's not. It's a little It's a pretty big maze comparatively. It's probably the largest size paper that I can make a maze on, because like I can do it on A3, but it would take several centuries and sometimes I just don't have the mental fortitude to deal with months of very teeny tiny detailed work. Yeah. So, how has everybody been? Because I have been geeking out about my mazes and I forgot the most important question, which is, you know, how is everybody? How was your day? Are you ready for Friday? Which, I mean, yes, Friday. Hell, yes, for adulting. Oh, I am so proud of you. So happy. Seriously, it's one of those things that are just underrated. Um, yeah, I have adulted as well today, and I'm very proud of myself. I have sent emails and text messages, and I talked on the phone, which, I mean, usually I deal with nobody and I see no human beings, so it's a pretty big departure from my regular stream of how do I call them? Mm, work. Yeah, let's call it work and not, you know, social life. Uh, oh, oh, I could actually do a wind theme around here and basically to have the green binding the two halves to create this. Oh Christ. Sorry, I just looked down and I realized that there is nobody who can understand whatever the hell I lined out there, and by nobody I mean me, and that's kind of important. No, these are my nips. I was I was looking for my eraser and um I found my calligraphy supplies, which is useful but not that useful because basically doing calligraphy with like doing mazes with calligraphy supplies sounds like a circle of hell. Yeah, I'm deleting it all. I don't care. I just everything will go away. There we go. I'm sorry. It part of why I started this a bit late was because I got tangled in my cables because I had to move my work laptop and then move my personal laptop to the other side of the desk because I have a much better light here. Well, when it's light and not about to be a storm, which is yay! Storm time. I mean, I do love storms, but I don't think right now is the time for one. I don't want a storm. Yeah, this is the wind theme. This is like the plants offering unity and splitting this into two sides because like I really wanted the couple theme and like maybe they can form a silhouette in here and like overreach. this is actually gonna have a result. I promise. Oh. Also, I just realized one important thing. Uh, color space, color range. There we go. There we go. This is a lot better because this way you can actually see what I see and not, completely inverted. I completely forgot about that function. Oops. Yeah. Maybe they can be made of light. This silhouette and like it overreaches like this. And these are actually gonna be part of like a maze eventually. I'm just sketching out which colors go where and especially which patterns go where because yeah, otherwise I might get really lost. Like for example, for the wind, I wanted to make it a little triangular. And by the way, I lied. I am using my triangular big boys, my brush markers, because uh I just realized that it's a lot easier to give off this very strong and stormy um feeling if if you have wider strokes, like basically like this. Are you properly? Yeah. There we go. I It looked very defocused on my, how do you call it? I think it's a preview. It looked defocused. Now there we go. Okay, this was not really planned out like this. Okay, what did I? Oh yeah, a darker color. I really like mixing a few colors and like whenever I make a certain kind of maze because I don't know, I feel like it makes it a little more lifelike. I mean, it's probably just, you know, my own impression because I am frankly not sure if like my favorite mazes are actually, liked by other people because like my favorite one is just a whirlpool. It's very pretty as far as I'm concerned, but it's very messy as well. There we go. I am filling it up slowly. Okay. Also, I just love how I am talking during this a lot more than I talked during when I played games. Even though I feel like those give out a lot more potential to talk about them than, lines on paper. And yes, I am absolutely winging it. Just, in case you've been wondering if there's more of a method than, broadly sketching out what I want to do and then filling up the space. I mean, admittedly, there are that is true. They do use a different part of the brain. I mean, I do need to concentrate on these ones as well. I guess I get a lot more nervous when I do games because they're not my my personal comfort zone. For these ones, I just get lost in my mazes and I start talking like I usually do. I mean, like I usually think about things when I do mazes, so it's not really that big of a departure. When I play games, I usually just, when I play for myself, I usually just focus on the game itself, and I don't really care to like think about it. I just move my mouse and, experience the story, but it's not really as elaborate a thing as, as this is because, oh, sorry, I took a bit of a break because my hand hurts a bit. In spite uh of the fact that I have made things more uh a lot smaller. Like basically there have been mazes where there was very little to no blank spaces. And actually the first one I did took about 3 months. It was I made it during university, and I mean during, as in during class, because that's how I focus. And it was the background of this very abstract art, and it basically, if you look at it from a distance, it's a bit trippy because you can very, very faintly see the white of the sheet, and uh, the rest of it is just very, very, very fine lines. It's a simple blue maze. Like that one isn't like triangles and lots of thinking and and it's not something elaborate. But I did love drawing it. It was so relaxing. I mean, that one was genuinely very, very calming. I mean, not that I am not extremely calm when I'm doing this, but I'm also like engaging my brain into like thinking how to continue or like how to work out in on the page. Like, oh, what if I went with this too low and then I won't have room for this other thing and so on and so forth. And it's even more complicated when I make mazes that actually have one solution, because I also do those. I just do them a lot more rarely because let's just say that there's I am less I don't know how to say this without it sounding really stupid, but they are. As much as I love them, I tend to focus more on them having a proper solution than on the meaning and the symbols that I represent in them, which is kind of, you know, sad because I really spend, sometimes I spend a lot, I spend days thinking about the layout of a maze, like if it's something special, which, I mean, I, there might be some, I might threaten hint with the maze one day. But it's more like I need to get hit by that inspiration of how exactly to what exact elements can be visually represented and also meaningful to um to what I'm trying to represent. Because, like for this one, for example, I wanted to do it for probably over a year now. It's especially since the penis maze has been an, I'm sorry, Twitch, but also it's true. The maze has been a running joke for quite a while, and I kind of felt bad because it yes, it is the exactly that maze. I it was not on purpose. I wish to put a disclaimer that this was not on purpose. And by this, I mean what I am about to post. I was very proud of it. I was very proud of it. Oh, yeah. Mm, uh, yeah, I am currently doing a Twitch search just to just to show you the the extent of my obliviousness, my incredible, amazing, stunning obliviousness. I cannot even. Oh boy. Okay, there's a lot of scrolling to do. A surprising amount of scrolling. I very, very proudly posted it, both on the Alba Salix Discord and on my own Twitter. And I spent a very, very long time wondering why people were acting so awkward. Because, I mean, I am nothing if not on brand. And fan art. This is good. This one's good. This one's good. And come on, Twitch. You can do it. You can load. It's okay. Yeah, I know I'm live. I am well aware. Thank you. Okay, perfect. This is this is yeah. there were some very awkward reactions to this because, as I said, using the Disney logo as an inspiration for castles has not been my smartest moment. And making those castle towers tall has been a decision. Very oblivious. A very oblivious decision. But, I'm owning it now. What can I do? Like, it, there, it's a mushroom. It's exactly that. They were supposed to be castle towers. I was. Now you understand why I really needed to redraw something. I feel like I need to atone for my past behavior. Especially since it's a very lovely, family-friendly comedy. And in I come with whatever that is. Uh, yes, yes, yes. That is exactly right. Oh, the creators were so nice about it. They were just a little dumbfounded. They were like, this is nice. Oh, I mean, it has cemented their place in my heart, though. It's, does this look like a stormy, windy? I mean, probably not. It mostly looks like a very, triangle sky. But I kind of like it. It it makes me think of swirling wind, and the best part is that so far there is no imagery in it. So, um, you know, you win some. You win some. Just, oh, yeah, I think I will go with hot pink for the silhouettes, just because it's one of the brighter colors I have. Like maybe like something that shows um light and affections. So I'm gonna go for warmer colors. This thing that really radiates, which I really love. No, this other pink is basically transparent, so this one is kind of useless right now. Because like I also need colors that actually do show on camera, because otherwise it's kind of for nothing. I have had mazes that I did with orange, and I mean they look also with gold. Gold is the worst, and silver, mostly because like they just don't show as nicely. Are you gonna show? Oh, I think so. Eventually. Yeah, that will work. I probably shouldn't continue the triangle theme, but I mean, I wanted to do something with sharper edges, but unfortunately, I am I'm trying to make the image a little sharper. Will you fall if I do this with you? Yes. Okay. You will have to stay here. I'm sorry. There we go. I just, the people silhouettes are gonna be a little more finely defined. So I kind of wanted to catch this like detail work. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Nope. This is the closest you get? Okay. It's okay. I'm just surprised my camera works. I have. Let's just say that it's been mistreated. Much like any piece of tech that has the incredible misfortune of falling into my hands. Not gonna lie. The poor thing. I I just didn't have proper room for it. So it's been on my desk. Along with like a bajillion things and my laptops, which is actually the issue. Because like at some point its cable got tangled in between other cables, and pulling it off was a bit of a nightmare, saying it very lightly. It was terrible. Okay, but actually the triangles might actually work better than the what I had in mind, which was a very traditional maze look. But this one kind of fits. And I like that. Now, how will I integrate the yellow lines that I already have? This is a moment of suspense. But I didn't think those yellow lines through, so now I suffer. I don't know how it will happen. I do like the barely visible extra lightness brought on by the pink. And like I am using the orange because it's darker but still pretty warm to help um make the silhouette still easily distinguishable, and then yellow and pink to create this lightness. I could have made like a more layered look, but it kind of, I don't know, I enjoy it being slightly dissipated. Kind of like the idea is to make it match the wind. So like it has these jagged edges and the areas where it blends with the other mazes. Well, the other maze, singular, because it will just after the silhouettes, it will just be nature. Now, I am not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with the nature, so I'm probably gonna blend a few. Like I'm just gonna go with the flow and fill every area. Just fill it up. Now, I did work kind of loose with this. So, yeah, I think I'll continue to uh, make it pretty spaced out. And then with the nature, I will try to tie it up in a more tightly drawn kind of style, which is a lot more suited for the way in which I do plan on making nature, actually. Now that I think about it, there's. It kind of looks like they're holding hands. That's debatable, but it's symbolism, okay? And yes, I just disagreed with myself. It's fine. I'm sure it will be okay. The end result will be fine. It's gonna be fine. I mean, uh, this this was not supposed to happen. Okay, that's better. I just drew a line where I shouldn't have. So it was too close to another line. So the chance of it intersecting the already drawn line was a little. mm, I took my chance and I failed. Like, pretty brutally, if that. I'm very happy because my original idea was to also listen to the show while I'm making these for inspiration. But right now, so much of my brain energy is taken by these goddamn lines. Not gonna lie, it would have been a challenge rather than a help. I do plan on actually making those kinds of streams though. Like kind of like listen alongs with everyone, but you know, not right now because I kind of want to make sure that I am actually audible before I start experimenting in any sort of way, even if that way is just not constantly hearing my echo, which, I mean, I should probably sort that out because it's driving me insane, not gonna lie. It's it's horrible. I really hope that like normal people don't hear themselves all the time in their. Yes, I am. Unfortunately, this also means that I am hearing an echo of myself speaking, which is great because at least I know when I am not audible. But on the other hand, I can hear every word I'm saying echoed through my headphones, which is an experience because like I get to hear myself speaking, and then I get to hear my digital self speaking, which is why sometimes I like slow down now because I get distracted. I mean, on top of me fighting the fact that words are legit hard to say. Like on top of the speech impairments, I also get the run of the mill echo impediments. Okay. I feel like these kind of look like heads. I mean, they will look a bit more obvious when they will be highlighted. Well, not exactly highlighted, but the grin should help them stand out a bit, especially since it will be a different kind of pattern. I just want them to vaguely look like people silhouettes. I really I'm really happy that I finally got inspired to do this. Uh, because I really miss mazes. They are they're one of the most relaxing things I can do. And it sucks when I don't have inspiration for them. It really does. It's kind of why I wanted to like start taking commissions because then I can tell people, you can pay me and you can also give me an idea to make a maze, and you know, you get a pretty maze and I get lots of profit in so many ways. Like but admittedly, uh the only thing would be that uh because mazes are super um intensive, like if I don't draw something super simple, like for example, um the silhouette of a person or a very small scale one. Um, for more elaborate ones, it takes a lot of thinking. Like if I get an abstract theme, like for example a show or sometimes a person, um, it's they're pretty intensive to do because I have a lot of thinking and condensing the themes and deciding what will go in it. Um, so I would have to, to charge a lot for them. Uh, like, because even if I do sometimes need inspiration, um, I can't help to acknowledge the the strain they take on me. Like I I even if a maze like this, for example, can take about 4 hours, um the basically the prep work before, even if it's not like physical, it's just thinking, it can take weeks or months. um I can't think ho- what was the least time it took to think up the physical layout and meaning of one of these, because um I made one inspired by rustic wool gaming, which took um it took a solid few days to think up about it, even if it wasn't it was basically very small areas of the paper inspired by um the various player characters. So it wasn't as elaborate as the mazes that came after it. I mean, it could be the one inspired by tennis, which is, yes, another podcast. That one took very little because I knew kind of exactly what I wanted to represent. It's a spiral going like it's a spiral going to a dark place. And then what I wanted to do was to mix in the spiral various colors that would represent various themes. Like, for example, I have red for blood, for the gore and the bloodshed that, happens in the show or gets mentioned mostly in the show. Then I had green for basically for rebirth and for the theme of immortality, and for the woods, for the, oh god, so many woods of the Pacific Northwest. I did it. I got there in the end. Then I think I had some blues for the rains, because somehow the rains get mentioned in the show. There's mention to a study made, there's somebody alleging a connection between um serial killings and the Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of murder in tennis. It gets dark. I I mean, admittedly, I think Alba Salix is by far the brightest, the most cheerful show that I'm listening to. Oh, which is kind of sad. I have been on the horror kick for a while now, and it shows no signs of um ever slowing down, at least recently. I was scrolling through my Twitter to um drop a link in chat, just so you would know what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, yes, I saw that, and I was so excited because I don't know a lot about the Pacific Northwest, except that there's a lot of killing. I am so sorry for anyone in Vancouver, Seattle, or adjacent. But I just know that Grey's Anatomy happens in it, and there's a lot of death and serial killers apparently. This is nope. This is the wrong one. I I posted so many images. God damn it. I am still scrolling through horrifying gnomes. Apparently, I went through a terrifying gnome phase. Sure. Of course. I am just. I spotted some mazes, but they're the wrong ones. Uh. Oh, I didn't know that there's a lot of horror set in there. I mean, it kind of makes sense given that there's rain and sadness and, uh, you know, rain, sadness. I kind of feel bad for anyone in that area who gets to listen to me, to this European talking about their neck of the woods and being like, I do not know of anything that happens there except for death. Poor souls. Of crying out. Oh, okay then. Okay. That the search function is apparently garbage on Twitter. Just really annoying. Because I just want to find, oh, there it is. Apparently complaining about it made it pop up, which is excellent. There we go. This is the Tanis one that I was talking about, because I remembered it's actually my favorite maze. And I remembered how much I worked on it. um and I really loved this blend of colors. Um I mean, they might not be the prettiest or the most well suited together colors, but it fit well with the themes of the show. And by themes, I mean, you know, what I talked about before. And I'm not sure. Thank you, Riggs. Also, hi. You have stumbled upon me talking about the Pacific Northwest and me talking about podcasts because um, I'm a simple person with simple interests. The maze I am doing right now is also inspired by a podcast, which is not surprising. So far, I did do um uh not podcast inspired maze, which was the one that was inspired by Kinseed because I adore that game. It's so pretty. One day I really promised myself that one day I will at least stream it. And I know I was waiting for one of the updates. I just can't remember which one. I think I wanted to wait for the Generations update. Because the whole point about Kenseed is that you play I want to say a family, but it's not exactly a family. You play a person that strikes a deal and gets to live in the body of one of their descendants through I cannot remember how many generations. And they probably changed it anyway. Um and it's still in early access. It's done by the Fable developers. So, it's really good. The soundtrack to it is stunning. Like I have booted that game just to listen to the sound. It's so good. And the story is so far it's a lot of you kind of do the story yourself, but it has been confirmed that there will actually be an overarching plot or plot-ish to you know take you through the game, um which is really nice. I really love the fact that you have pretty much complete autonomy towards like what you wanna do in the game. You wanna own all the stores? Sure. You want to run around for years collecting plants? Sure. You just want to sit inside your farmhouse and raise your pigs and, live a chill life? Sure. You want to not befriend anybody? Go ahead. You can just go ahead and be a loner. There's no problem with that. The game, I mean, I haven't played it for a bit, I admit, but the game in the version that I did play um, didn't really impose a penalty on, you not socializing with the people in the world. And it made me cry. It made me cry from the prologue. They didn't even they didn't even have to work that hard. They just they just started off by making me care about the characters and then ripping my heart off. which is both very cruel and really cool to see. They kind of look people-ish, I guess. Close enough. And yeah, you might find it completely unsurprising that um it's kind of a life simulator. Uh it's I would say that it's a farming game if the farming wasn't extremely limited and really optional, like anything in a game, frankly. It's a purely optional aspect of the game. And I know they did say that eventually they will uh, add more to the farming, but so far it's not exactly being very elaborate. And I say this as a fan, there's so much to do. There was so much to do a year ago. I'm pretty sure that there's even more now. But I do want to wait and or I did want to wait. I haven't looked at it in a while. To wait to play it until the actual generations come out, because the point is that you live until 60 and then you start off by playing one of your descendants and so on and so forth. Like you start to build. But back when I got the game, this wasn't implemented because like they hadn't even finished aging yet. Like you start the game as a teen, and last I looked, if I recall correctly, you could be an adult. And I think another as well. You could get married, which has been a very, very big update. And because I remember people on the server talking about the marriage quest, which is pretty elaborate. Because, like, the game kind of. I really like this aspect of it. The fact that it really makes you work for any sort of social relationship. You have to really, really try. You don't start off by having everybody be your friends and bribing them with whatever you have extra to you know just basically be your BFFs. This isn't Sims. I I might have played a lot of Sims recently, and it's kind of, I don't know, a little. It's one of the aspects that I genuinely am not super fond of when it comes to The Sims. It's the fact that you build off, no matter your settings, you build off relationship really fast. And it kind of makes it a little meaningless, so to speak. And by so to speak, I mean really meaningless. Like, if you can just, you know, meet the person and like crack a few jokes and you're best friends in a few hours. That's one of those things that doesn't really seem to simulate any sort of human behavior, which kind of kind of makes it a bit weird. And uh, like it makes me think that sometimes games that are um, elaborate in different ways, like colony simulators, put more realism in their social interactions than games that are, aimed at simulating said social interactions, like The Sims. Um, like for example, RimWorld. I really like the. Oh, I've closed off this triangle. Oops. It's okay. None of you will definitely notice, but it's fine. It's art. Um, um, I was playing RimWorld, and um, their trait system is really good at defining social interactions. Like I can absolutely see why it was compared a lot to Dwarf Fortress. It's like Dwarf Fortress if that game didn't hate you, and also didn't hate you, basically. Because I am, as much as I love Dwarf Fortress, it's such a punishing game. I mean, in a very fun way, but let's just say that I'm incredibly excited for when the version that has an actual interface will come out. Because I have every single screenshot that they post is so cool. I'm so excited. Yeah, I know. Going from The Sims to Dwarf Fortress is a bit bizarre. And especially comparing the two. But, both simulate human, well, person behavior. So, like, it kind of, they, I can't help but lump them together. Also, this is purple. Well, purple it is. My people are gonna have some extra symbolism going on. By which I mean I grabbed the wrong color. I didn't exactly want this. I wanted it to be bright pink. But it doesn't look bad. It didn't look that bad. No. Oh, this would look very good. Okay. Might actually make a pretty good passage from, like, wind to... There we go. I added some of these triangles. So the the odd one doesn't look so odd. Also, let me know if you can hear the children screaming. So far, they have been well behaved, but I just want to know if I need to up my noise cancellation. Because like there's plenty of sirens and children outside, and it's still not enough air to close down the window. It's 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 not exactly like still horribly hot outside, but um it's absolutely um what's the goddamn word for it when like steamy. uh it's look, there's a playground behind my home, so I promise no children were harmed in the making of this and Sunday's stream. I They're not mine. They're not mine. They're I promise. My basement children are way better behaved than this. No, they're outside, and it's gonna get even better when the kindergarten reopens. They have rebuilt it from scratch, which is absolutely, it has been great. I really loved it. Um, there's not a lot of room to bring up heavy machinery, but boy did they try. It's absolutely a sight to behold to have like um a giant crane on a street where even the firefighting car can barely enter. And that was uh, a really awesome thing. Okay. This triangle is a little. eh, It looks good from a distance. I mean, I do like that they're starting to look people shaped. It's it's so cool because I admit that until this moment I had my worries that um I will not be able to make them into a humanoid shape. So this brings me joy. There we go. And there's tiny triangle here. And a tiny triangle there. could actually hydrate, which I recommend everybody does. Hydration is great. Get that water. Well, let's see if the yellow is actually visible. It's actually visible. Hell yeah. This is great. I am absolutely having a blast. Don't mind me. My form of entertainment is drawing triangles. I mean, it's still better than one. I don't know if I should call it a maze, because to me it's something slightly different. It was um inspired by another podcast. It's inspired by Sibling Speculaire, which is uh, an improv show about two conspiracy theorists. It's a comedy meant to um basically to poke fun at conspiracies. Um and it's really funny, which is probably the best description I can give about any improv show. Sometimes it's really funny. And it's basically made entirely out of spirals, like tiny spirals. And it's you know, it's kind of it's two people, you know, made out of spirals, made to to symbolize the idea of their spiral during the show, um, and during their lifetimes, into like conspiracy theories and um, basically the downfall of their investigation towards their parents' disappearance. It's I put so much thought into these mazes. Like it's why I said that um that they're pretty taxing to me, because I could talk about most of them, like about what each thing represents, because I have thought about those things usually for quite a while. I should probably put in the mosquito repellent, but I'm fine. It's probably gonna rain, right? I'm gonna be okay. No, no mosquitoes are gonna eat me so much. I mean, they are, but a girl's gotta stay optimistic. Okay, got that. Oh, they look vaguely human. Oh, vaguely people. So I can actually start on the green. But maybe I should actually remove the lines before that. It's so good to be back to fine liners because I don't need to wait for them to dry before erasing stuff. Usually when I draw something with my usual black pen situation, it's there's a non-zero chance for the ink to smudge everywhere. Which, I mean, I'm sure if there were like, look, there we go. So much better. Also, in case anybody's wondering what is wrong with my desk, I've had it since I was a little humanling, and basically a lot of drawing and erasing and chewing gum, and there's been a lot happening to it. I'm so sorry for it. And this is the first line. This is um this is a very dead liner. I mean, you can't really see it on camera how dead it is, but you'll have to take my word for it. It's starting to die off. Uh, I am I am in my element. Squiggly line. Yay! Oh, I'm sorry. I just got an idea. uh, why are you like this? Okay, it's working. It's fine. This is fine. I am. I am slowly but surely. Oh my god. I just realized that when I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna have to put in an alt text. And I always feel really bad for anybody reading my old texts because um I mean it it's really hard to describe these mazes. And um this isn't me whining about how hard it is to add alt text. This is me apologizing for whatever will come up. And unfortunately, I know that I will need to repost most of my older mazes actually because they any sort of explanation I could have come up with um broke Twitter's previous character limit for alt text, which um one, having a character limit for image descriptions is bullshit. And two, yeah, it's really hard for me at least to explain a maze that has a lot of you know, relevant elements to it that I will need to actually mention and describe. Because, like, uh, if I put in on my alt text, this is the image of a maze, it's not providing anything to, like, the person reading it. Like, thanks, this is a maze. um so I always try to describe it properly with, like, the actually relevant elements, which is a problem because there's no chance of keeping the relevant elements under Twitter's previous character limit. It's why I ended up posting a lot of my mazes to Instagram, and I'm not even sure if I have all of them there, frankly. It was because they didn't have an alt text limit, so I could just go ham, which I did, which I absolutely did. Yay. Okay, they are different enough. If kind of. I It works. It works. It's fine. It's just that the um the color basically isn't dark enough. Oh yeah, I should definitely include my signature somewhere, but probably when I get to the bottom. Yay. And this, for me, is the fun part. Whenever I get to do these kinds of lines, I am utterly delighted because they're so fun to do. They're just they're just a squiggly line that somehow, sometimes, can squiggle properly and form a twisted little maze inside it. And that's kind of cool. And I love it. Yep. And, like, it has many twisted little lines inside it. It's kind of funny that the first time I did this was because I wanted a way to represent waves. And um it did a very good job representing waves. And then I realized that it works, especially when, like, for example, when I want to do a certain shape uh, made out from, like, mazes, I usually opt in for this squiggly line because it allows so much more control. Like, for example, for a previous maze, I made a possum, like an opossum, from these kinds of lines, and it does look like one. And, in here I can barely do, like, with this sort of line, for example, I can barely do the people, and with, like, the classic one I can do even less. And I know it's like basically me that has a problem because I follow a few other maze artists on Instagram, and their works are sometimes they're stunning. And like meanwhile, I'm here like I cannot do anything if it's not with squiggly, squiggly thingy. I am so happy that even after the sunset, the lighting is still pretty good, and you can actually see what the fuck I'm doing. Oops, I should have rated this stream properly for how I speak, but you know, live and learn. I mean, on the upside, at this pace, I have a non-zero chance of working on this until Drit's stream starts. So there's that. I I mean, I'm not really that surprised, but when I started um you know, working on this, I was I was like, oh no, this is like a 2 hour work at most because like look at this mm, this space occupied by this maze that's you know large and like this thing that takes actually longer for me to do is pretty small comparatively to the size of the paper. And, this thing, as you can see, it goes really fast because I have a lot of, well, no, because it just goes really fast. It's very easy to draw a line with which you can cover a pretty wide surface. Like I can really go with one line and fill like a whole corner, you know? And that's kind of, a thing. um as you can see, like this line keeps going, and it's okay. Like at the end, it will absolutely blend in with the rest with no issues. Um, there we go. I I hope the noise cancelling is actually working enough that you cannot hear the sirens. I promise you, nobody's getting arrested. This was a joke my friends used to make because when we were playing games together, because like every single session we there was a siren blaring in the distance. So, They were like, Alexia, please. You know? And it was pretty funny for me because like, what? Don't you have sirens blaring? Huh. I mean, admittedly, there's like it's the acoustics of where the apartment is. That's that's the problem because like I can hear things from many kilometers away because of that. Like I can hear concerts and there's no park nearby or concert hall or any sort of place that keeps concerts. And I mean nearby as in at a reasonable distance that you can hear things. Nope. It's just this place being cursed. Like I could hear Ed Sheeran's concert when he came. And trust me, I don't live near the hall where he had the concert. It's just it's just how the acoustics go, which is, great, except that the like for things like the Easter service that lasts for the whole night, and if the priests keep the speakers on for like the whole night, um, I'm gonna. I have to close the windows because I can hear everything. And like, Byzantine chanting is cool, don't get me wrong. But, not for 12 hours, you know? I don't know if it actually lasts 12 hours because I, I, I never had the curiosity to participate for the whole duration to actually report on how long that is, but it's very long. I don't know what they have to say for so long, but you know what? It's a celebration. It involves flames, so I'm all about it. And by flames, I mean lit candles that you take home, which apparently not everybody has, which I had no idea. Uh, like, I mean that on Christian Easter. Just because I realized that I might have failed to provide some context to my words. Hmm? It's close enough. Okay. And look, you see how what I was talking about when I said that the the green side does go a lot faster. Um, it's like I'm almost halfway through one of the sides, which is great. Um, this is also the kind of maze that um I do. I think pretty much all of the mazes I linked today. Not gonna lie. I think they all have at least a part, if not the entirety, in this sort of um in this sort of maze. Yay. Yes, this is me very happy that I finished another segment. And that I did manage to limit myself for once to a reasonable amount of colors. I'm gonna have to implement a reminder that, I should shut up for at least a few minutes every, say, you know, hour, because um I mean, let's just say that tomorrow I will probably be completely unable to speak, which is, I mean, on the upside, I got texted that I don't need to speak to the person I was supposed to talk to tomorrow, so it's gonna be okay. It's a hot lemon tea kind of day. I'm not sure it will hurt, but it can hurt. Hurt. Hi, Corona. Oh, hi, people. Hi. Hi. Oh, well, hi. Hello. You have um. Hi. 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 Hi to everybody. Just big love. Um. Yes. Now I get loved upon. I don't know why you weren't following me already. You don't love me. I know, it's okay. Um, Thank you for the follows, you good people. Uh, yeah, I have been talking basically Night and Freech's ears off about, like, podcasts, much to literally nobody's surprise. Because guess what I'm making? Podcast inspired maze. Yes, it do be art. It's art. I am washing away my sins. Um this is a maze for inspired by the second season of the Alba Salix podcast. Um and it's the second. Yes, Pirate. It's the second attempt. One, because the first one, how do I say this? It was made I took inspiration from the Disney logo. With the tourists, which, like, those tall and wide towers, they don't take well to rounded edges. Yeah. And if you need, I can link it again if anybody needs to facepalm at my sweet summer child who didn't realize what she did until, I think until somebody was sane enough to point out to me that, well, my maze was, um I mean, let's say that it took a lot of Viagra. I am so sorry for anybody Bye. Like, sorry, Chrono. I, I, I just, I feel like I need an explanation for why I have some sense to wash off. I mean, I'm sorry. It never fails to crack me up. Uh, so, like, I promise there's a lot of symbolism in that one, and it's not what all of us are thinking about. But, yes, Joe. Yes, it is exactly that. It's I was an innocent summer child, so somebody actually needed to tell me outright what I did. Oh Lord. I was so basically the themes in it's a very big maze. Yes, it sure is. Yes, exactly that. So now you can see why I have some sin filled out. Like this, that was not the intention because like I made it inspired by this adorable wholesome show about this this fantasy doctor, and her aides, and then like fuck, and then, and then I got that result, and I was so proud of it because I was like, okay, so this is the hut because like this is the house of healing, and this here is the palace, and like every color that I chose meant something, and like the background meant something, and um yeah, and then like because these kinds of lines don't do well with like jagged edges, and I wanted to use squiggly lines for some godforsaken reason. The end result was that. So right now I decided to take season 2 as an inspiration just to not be led astray again. So it's basically I wanted to have plants like green, and because like on the one hand um on the one hand, it has to do with the titular Alba Salix's healing powers. Secret Night. And on the other hand, I know there's a season 2 that's gonna come out soon. And on the other hand, like oh, Night, you're ninja like the night. Uh, I tried. I tried. I promise I did my best. Oh, Icarus would never go haywire. I mean, it would, but let's face it, it would take over Knight's account. I'm sorry, I am hydrating. Oh, you mean every single one of your streams? Because, Icarus is lovely, but also it's incredibly evil. And yes, I am trying very hard to position myself so what I do actually shows on camera. Because I still have a hefty part of this sheet to fill up. Um, which I will. It will happen. It's okay. It's, you know, it's nature following its course. It's fine. Look. Yeah, that is extremely what Icarus would do. This would show. Well, I didn't want to start from there, but I'll take it. I think my next camera will have a zoom function. This one does not have that. And it's great for like the big picture, but if you wanna follow the squiggles. Aww. It's okay. Icarus will hopefully not fly into the sun soon. Hi, Income. Bye, Joe. Ooh, pizza. Nice. Nice. I'm fantastic, phenomenal, and wonderful. How are you? And how is everybody? How is the day? Or night or whatever. Yeah, hopefully Icarus will not do that. But also, I don't trust robots. It's why. Oh, Inca, that's that's pure hell. I am so sorry. And I say this as somebody who was working at 2 a.m. a few days ago. Some terrible life choices were made. The money will be good, which is great. You woke up at noon. Nice. Nice. I was very much contemplating taking a nap because of the aforementioned 2 a.m. coding. And I'm still functioning at a sleep deficit. So that's gonna be fine. I'm fine. I mean, on the upside, today was really chill. Yeah, you should sleep for 2 days. Jesus. Just 12 hours of work. Sound horrid. Pure terrible. I'm sorry, sometimes I stop just because I want to blend in my colors and I don't know which should go where. So I just need to observe them a little. Boop. Oh my, I got possessed by Molly for a moment, which is great, but I don't really have like half of their adorableness. Here we go. Sorry, I I sometimes get a bit focused on these very long squiggly lines, and I kind of forget that I should actually talk to people and maybe hopefully explain what is going on. Aside from Alexia draws squiggly lines on a sheet of paper, which is somehow supposed to be inspired by a show. But also, I mean, that's exactly what's happening. That is exactly what is happening. Uh, it's wind. Yay! Thank you. I'm very excited to take good pictures of it because like I know that some of the details probably don't show well on camera, and it's what kind of why I am trying to work a little loose, like compared to other mazes I'm making. Um, I I realized that I can just twist the paper, and all of a sudden my life got better, and my camera worked. Because like for these types of mazes, I don't really need to. Bye. Have a good day. For these kinds of mazes, you don't really need to like look for a proper orientation. Like they don't have an up or a down. Um, I mean, I kind of needed to have a properly positioned paper for these ones, for example, because they're supposed to be vaguely human shaped or people shaped. So that basically meant that, you know, I needed to not I needed, you know, this shape, so I couldn't do the usual thing I do, which is to turn and twist my paper completely in all of the possible ways. But now that the hard work is done, like the um, this these triangles, which are meant to symbolize wind, you know, they're I just didn't want to pick I didn't want to pick gray or something like that because I liked the how the blue would work with the rest of it, and I might actually balance it out a bit because now that I'm looking at it, this wider line over here puts a bit um more weight on the upper side compared with like the super detailed work in here. So I might actually need to come in with some broader strokes, which kind of fit in with like my original idea of having like a pillar of green and basically two sides. But I kind of enjoy the idea of the green being the background kind of a lot more. I just I really, I cannot think of this show and not think of nature, basically. It just, I don't know, it just suits the theme. Eh, it's like a sun. Or like the super weird by forms from the so the same people who made Alba Salix made a sci-fi improv show called Civilized, and that show um that show had a little email game. It was kind of like a choose your own adventure game. It was so good. I loved it. Um, I'm not sure if I got all of the endings, but I got a lot of them because I just couldn't stop playing. The story was adorable, and in it there were these plant-like aliens at some point, and this kind of reminds me of it. Yes, absolutely. You can use any maze of mine as anything. Absolutely. No probs. Okay, but okay, this works. I feel like this kind of balanced things out a bit. Just so. Yay. Just so the art teacher that I've been to for a week. It was this week-long intensive course. So that lady wouldn't be completely disappointed in me, just mostly disappointed in me. Oh, she was so nice. I told her that I'm really trash at picking up colors, and she basically looked at what I chose, which were three completely heinous colors that didn't fit in with each other, and she was like, "Okay, I understand now." And she basically picked me a color scheme, and I would die for her for that because like the art ended up being quite pretty, I guess. It wasn't. I liked another one of what I did a lot more, but she was really nice, and she complimented me, and she didn't mind the fact that like my she acknowledged that some of the things are just because I have a different comfort zone. Like I am more comfortable doing this really like on the spot sort of art. Like I and like more primal. For example, I felt a lot more comfortable using charcoal and pastels than like pencils because um, it required a lot less precision to be able to draw out certain shapes. And she acknowledged that, this was because that's my style. That's what I'm most comfortable with. Just going ham with that charcoal on the paper. I was just loving it. And like for the first few days we had like to do pencil drawings, and it was like a lot of measurements, and I was suffering because I just let's just say that unless it's one of my mazes, I don't really spend a lot of time planning and measuring, you know, doing all those good art things. I'm just out there doing those primal art things like erasing charcoal with my own hands, even though I had one of those plastic erasers, just because I was way too into it. I was just covered in charcoal, like those. I was like a toddler. I was absolutely channeling my toddler energy, just going ham on it, which absolutely made my way home at 10 p.m. Oodles of fun. There it is. Found it. I wanted to tie these messes together, but just the green didn't really hit the spot. Just didn't seem to fit in properly. So I kind of enjoy the idea of continuing the shapes. There we go. There we go. Wonderful. I'm so proud of it. Okay. So now I see it's a little more balanced. Now I still need to find a corner to sign it, which I had planned this corner until I got distracted. So yeah. Well, I do have most remaining space here, so and it's got the bonus of being right next to the wind, which is perfect because, you know. So I'm making a name. I am making a nail. Another L. I can make it. That's a third L. It's a little malformed, but whatever. There we go. That works. Now I'm gonna need an E, the worst letter of the alphabet, which is the X, and the I, and let's call that an A. Oh, I didn't catch it. No, I did catch it. Okay, perfect. That that kind of looks like an Alexia, if you squint a lot. Yeah, that's the kind of name. Well, I could just do this. Yeah, it's close enough. It's close enough. Close enough works. Yay! And then I can just fill up the remaining space. Which is, I'm surprisingly close to done with this. I mean, admittedly, it's because of these areas. which take very little space and cover, actually, they take very little time and cover very lots of space, which is, what matters. And, you know, and due to the fact that this kind of maze actually takes little time to make. It's very comfortable for me. Yeah, this is great. I am. I'm sorry. I'm just having an absolute blast by drawing squiggly lines on a piece of paper. So there's that. It's really hard when like somebody just tries to accuse me of being interesting because I mean, try to imagine working on something like this for 6 months. I don't know why there's still people here. I love all of you very much. But like, oh, I've been rambling so much. Like, um, it's been like 2 hours and a half of Alexia rambling about things she loves. Not gonna lie. I mean, be it mazes or computer games or I mean, or audio fiction. Bye, Riggs. Oh, thank you, Knight. And thank you, Edge. Yes. Bye. Um, yeah, which actually makes me think that probably I'm gonna do another one of these soon where, um, I am going to make a maze for the Audioverse Awards to celebrate the season opening soon. Because like there's been quite a lot of movement and preparation going on. So I am very hyped, and also I haven't helped them enough. I feel so bad. Oh, they're such good people. Seriously. I really love the Audioverse Awards. And basically I've volunteered to help them. They got me to um break out of my social anxiety to email them to ask them if they need a volunteer. And I basically volunteered to give them a hand because they looked overwhelmed, and like the help I could give really fit in with what they needed. So, and when I did join, I got even more respect for them. Like the sheer amount of work everybody puts in, especially the head of the awards is phenomenal. Let's put it this way. Every year there's a lot of nominations and a lot of votes going in. And there's there's a lot of data cleaning and a lot of just in general work and talking to people and so on and so forth. It's really amazing what they are able to accomplish, because like everybody can submit a show, you know. It's purely audience voted. So like you don't really have a jury. And that actually makes for some really interesting winners because, you know, people from various tracks of audio fiction, so to say, uh, coming over, and yeah, it's kind of amazing that every year there's some really, really impressive shows nominated. Like, if you go back and you listen to the nominee showcase, which is basically an audio feed with an episode of each nomination, or most of them actually, because not everybody sends in a showcase. But if you do, you'll find out so many good shows. like it's one of the first things I always recommend when somebody's looking for new podcasts or like for new audio fiction. Because uh, I I think I got in one of the years to halfway through the showcase, and I added to my listening list over half of them, and the other half they weren't added simply because the genre didn't work with me. So like, yeah, they have some really good shows out there. Just they're it's a really good way for, especially for indie shows, to showcase themselves. Yeah. And um I don't know if it actually helps or not, but it does help the audience to like find new stuff, which is wonderful. Because like with the showcase, you get to basically to listen to an episode, which makes it, you know, makes you really know what what the whole vibe is on the show. And if I recall correctly, I know that last year we did put in some content warnings for some of the showcased episodes. So there's that. Like, if somebody does notice disturbing content that we missed, or like that the creators didn't tag, um, you know, they're they're always good to message the awards because everybody's just, oh, they're such gems, I swear. And like, this isn't this isn't me talking as a volunteer. This is me talking as a fan. like, I will freely admit this. Yeah, there we go. This is the completed work. It's I could actually ramble about it for a while because like I really like how it ended up looking like, and how like these two parts balance each other, and that there's like these two um two silhouettes in the center to symbolize a lot of things, including unity. um, and like there's ah, I'm sorry, I lost my idea. Um, yeah. So I really don't know what more to say about this. I will admit, for once, every single thing that I had in my brain has left me completely, which is I don't know how people can stay on for like 4 or 5 hours because my brain cells have started leaving me completely. Yay. So I just love what a dum dum I am. Um, yeah, yeah. I just have a renewed um respect for you. I already had plenty of it. Oh, so I can actually, I can actually wrap this up with a little sketch, which is just a tiny heart. Well, okay, it's wonky because it's it's there is a logic. Okay, there's a logic. I promise. See, the logic shows itself. And I can use the other color. Why? Because I can. Because this one isn't like a fancy, well thought out thing. It's um just a random thing that would occupy my hands and make your um I mean, I want to say make your eyes happy, but also you know uh it's not exactly the most visually pleasing thing so far, but I I I do have some logic going on with it. There is there is some logic to it. Okay. And I am definitely, well, definitely not stalling until I get, there it is. There it is. I do not understand how some people do calligraphy um with markers. Um like I can barely highlight things. And they're out there doing just wizardry with it. So yeah, I'm incredibly impressed. And, this this kind of works. This this is a little thank you, which oh, I just realized that my camera is uh not flipped horizontally. Which is today I learned it's flipped vertically because I realized sometime after like half an hour. But for horizontally, I cannot find the. I know there was a setting for it, but I. Sorry. Lexi is a little tired. I am working on basically on borrowed sleep. So there's that. I don't know if I got more than 5 hours of sleep every night for the past 2 nights, which, might not seem very little, but I usually need a lot of sleep. Like, for me, it is. But I really wanted to just hang out with with people and especially do a maze, be amazing. So I don't know what I am doing with this. I kind of like the idea of like tree branches to the heart um because I don't know. It's it's what my art tells me. Feeding the art demon sometimes requires um requires me to do things I don't really understand why they look so good. But they do, and it's kind of cute. Welcome back, Inka. You might have caught me as I am finishing up because uh, I I had planned on you're yeah, it's understandable that you're all over the place. I mean, I don't really I can't even imagine how drained you must be. Frankly, they do seem like they're working you pretty hard. So there's that. I'm sorry, I keep saying that I will wrap this up and then I just continue doing. Uh, you know. This is this is this is meant to be like a thank you and uh, yeah, you better not do the full thing. I just seriously petition for Inca to get some sleep. I just I cannot imagine you just not. I mean, I know you've been working on your creative things too, and just Inca go rest. Do, do. Okay. So I I am I'm sorry. I am mesmerized by doing this. Yeah, your defense is accepted and valid, but also Inca get some sleep. Just this is gross enough. I am I feel like I cannot stop until I finish this. Even though like my camera is flipped, so you cannot see my hideous craftsmanship of my hideous lettering. Um so my branches ended up being like a whole page, but that's fine. It's something I did on the spur of the moment as a little way to express my gratitude for everybody coming here and supporting me on my and listening to me ramble on about stuff like everybody you're great is what I'm trying to say, and like for the raid and the follows and the hosting and just you people are so precious and I love you. And I just wanted to do a thank you maze. Probably next time I will either learn to flip my camera or write it flipped. It's I don't know how it's been like uh, over 2 hours, and it took me writing something to realize that left and right are not where they were supposed to be. I was more concerned with like the camera being upside down, and I didn't consider that when I flip it vertically, it will not flip horizontally as well. You know. Oh, thank you, Inka. And with this excellent uh crime against uh taste and beauty, so I think I will just put this over. Yep. This looks like a much prettier thing to end the stream on. This is a thank you and an I love you, and this is an thank you for being with me on these 2 hour and 47-minute journey. You are the absolute best, and thank you.